Hello everyone. Sorry, just getting everyone ready. We have a Discord World Cup game. Let me just enlarge that so everyone can see as much as possible. Let me know if the levels are fine, the zoom levels okay. If we've got anyone on the stream, should be a fun one. We have Wales, lancerusso on Dragon facing off against Crab, piloted by purplepotato for the Philippines. So they're already started. Um, I'll throw up the deck lists in a second after we go to the draw phase, let's say. We see already some unconventional stuff. We see the Wrath of the Kami coming out for the Dragon player, which is interesting. You don't see it played very often. To limit one per deck card, and you spend honor for province strength. We see a Maya Mystic played, so it's as well as a Kazuki Investigator. So the Maya Mystic's probably not going to come into play this turn. But it's to protect the Kentucky Investigator from Weir the Crab, because Crab got a pretty strong opening with Kaio Envoy and a Maya Mystic. So not a lot of attachments will be played this round. Plus they have an Iron Mine. I don't know what they'll save that for. Maybe the Maya Mystic for next turn to further put a stop on the... So, and this game's starting off pretty interesting. We see a 1 bid from the Dragon player. You don't see that every day. And a 2 bid from purplepotato. Perhaps he was anticipating the low bids from Dragon opponents to play around Resto. Didn't want to drop the honor. He also has that Wrath of the Kami to protect the province. So, interesting. Wrath of the Kami is an interesting one with the Dragon province row because, let me check his role in a second, because Feast or Famine, you don't really want to protect that province. So, which the Kaio Envoy hits, Feast or Famine, immediately. Can't see him putting a lot of honor into this, but I also can't see the Kaio Envoy. Kaio Envoy might try for the break because it's safe at this point, which would make a lot of sense just to get Feast or Famine out of the way. So I think you take a Bonsai to do it. Sorry, I'll get to deck lists. Action's pretty fast and furious here at the beginning. I don't want to cut away to take a look at deck lists in a second, but I'm sure looking like we're going to find some interesting stuff. So pops the storehouse for next card. And now currently 1-1 on the Water Ring, which is going to turn out to be, now that the Maya Mystic is blocking, it's going to turn out to be fairly inconsequential. Unless he wants to go for the break, I don't see much investigation. Okay, see a Hot Tattoo. I really have to get these deck lists up because this is not the standard Crab. It's clearly not the standard Dragon, so. Hawk Tattoos, I mean, nothing wrong with Dragon Splash at all. It's just Unicorn is the typical, right? And we see Hawk Tattoo bringing in the Investigator, very strong on a political conflict. I mean, sorry, military conflict, so he won't be using his ability this round or attacking Crab provinces. So Iron Mine is looking pretty good for the Crab player additionally because he can Iron Mine that Kaio Envoy and then wear the Crab in the Fate phase. We'll see if that happens. That would be a very strong play for him to do. And he can also Maya Mystic any reprieves that would come down to stop that. So I like you can never count out Dragon, of course, and I can't count anyone in the first round at all, but Dragon's a very strong clan. But I like Crab's position at this point. Tattoo Wander goes down to get in that conflict. And certainly Crab's province is much less threatening than Dragon's provinces. Outside of, at this point, I mean, what would you not want to find? Manicured Garden. Shameful Display doesn't even hurt that much. Yeah, Joe. Hey, yeah, that that is Wrath of the Kami, so you explained. So, yeah, that Feast or Famine can be heavily protected. I mean, he can pump it by 11 strength if he wants. But it's good to see new interesting cards. Let's see. So, Water Ring's already claimed, which is probably the one he'd want to go for. I don't know, maybe purplepotato anticipated this. If he was going to Hawk Tattoo the Investigator, he didn't want to get stood back up. So, Earth's a little dangerous. You better be pretty serious about winning it, just because the one Fate, which is not huge, no keepers, but the other rings don't look great either. Void doesn't do anything. It's got to protect his own characters, and Fire, I guess. Oh, Fire on the Investigator. I would imagine he'd go Fire. But why? Why? Well, surprise factor, Joe. And well, open deck list. Okay, it's not that. Just do something different. So I guess we saw the Tattoo Wonder came down, and I guess he passed conflict. Did I miss that? Yeah. So Lance Russo passed his conflict. We see Before the Throne, Okay, right after these conflicts, I'm putting these deck lists up because I gotta see the spice in these things. So yeah, I got Before the Throne going on, and which I guess helps explain the one bid. We on Dishonored Dragon here, which means if he bids low, he has plenty of honor for this Wrath of the Kami. And we see unconventional assassination auto dragon as well on the Maya Mystic. Um, I suppose, what's the ring here? Void. Okay, it's a good ring. I could see saving it with the Iron Mine, or if he doesn't have the Way of the Crab to do the Kaio Envoy thing, I could see that too. But otherwise, the Mystic's really just going to get his own Hawk Tattoo back, which is not going to be used on the Political Investigator really anyway. We see a Court Games to dishonor the Mystic, which will put a stop to winning this Void Ring. Again, his hand size down to 3, but I mean, you're keeping one of your characters around for next round, so I can see it. We see many, yes, P Mittens on the crab side. I'm objective as an announcer, but I gotta say a little bit of me is pulling for the crabs too. I have been scumming with Dragon lately, but very poorly. I can tell you. So that results in a wash, and I suppose dishonoring the Moon Mystic does help if we're on some sort of dishonor dragon here. Leaving dragon with the final conflict, which I have to imagine will be some military and fire to honor the Kensuke Investigator. Maybe air. It could be air if his game plan is as I suspect. Oh no, goes in for Earth, which makes some sense too. I mean, any conflict characters coming down. I mean, Kazuya, who knows? Kazuya could be coming down in the Dragon Splash, but hits Manicured Garden, which I think Crab's very happy to see. Get some fate. Only 3 cards in hand. It's not that. Well, I guess 1 sword or 2 attachments in the box. He could break this, but it'd be an investment in a Tattooed Wanderer to break this card. So, I mean, he's gonna lose a card and some honor and a gain of fate, which isn't a terrible trade. And Dragons discovered a province that, given the crab row, they don't necessarily want to go back to. They could find probably something even a little weaker. Because crab game's generally about some kind of economic advantage for the first couple turns and then pouring it on a little later. But you never know. So interesting that this crab deck is interesting so far because we see he's on Dragon Splash. This probably means let go. Around in Toronto, we call it the let go faction when you splash it. And he's also got Maya Mystic, so I suspect he has 3 of those as well to enable his clouds and also to enable even more attachment control. So this is a massive amount of attachment control, maybe more than any other deck if they have 6 attachment control plus Karada. So maybe he's just sick of losing to Dragon and Unicorn. Okay, so that's the end of the round. We see a Watch Commander get discarded. That's somewhat sad to see, but that's a let go, saves the Dragon let go. Let's take a look at these deck lists. Oops, wrong key. Okay, Dragon deck list. Let's see what we got. Mostly normal provinces, except for not the Secluded Shrine or the Secluded Sanctuary, I think. We all know what Dragon the province that is. The disgusting one they got in the cycle. Before the Throne is the swap in there. Dynasty-wise, pretty standard, I would say. 3 Alchemist. I mean, I see 2 a lot, but that's fine too. Wrath of the Kami, I guess, is the big difference on the Dynasty instead of Imperial Palace. So that weakens some matchup. Oh, but it's Phoenix Splash without Against the Waves. Oh, I guess because that's the if he has Against the Waves, he can't have. With no, I don't know. Maybe somebody sees it. I don't see the restricted list card here. Yeah, so he's got some interesting choices. He's got Katana of Fire. I don't know if he has that many. I mean, you get a big bonus for the Fire Ring, but I don't know if he has that many fire cards. He's got Embrace the Void. I like it as an economy card. I know not even all Phoenixes run it, and Daimyo's Favor. So he's got 5 like economy cards, and Adopted Kin you can count as an economy card as well to get all your attachments back. So 27 attachments is serious even as Dragon. And Kami Unleashed, Tattoo Wander. Okay, so interesting stuff there. Sorry, I'll have to jump back to the game pretty quick. I just got to see what's in these things. See, much more conventional spread for the Dragon. Splash, 3 Echo, 3 Hakata 2. Yep, all 3 Maya Mystics and the Karada District. So yeah, he's got a lot of attachment. And a Censure, which is a little spicy. 3 Mountains, 2 Crabs, 1 Spreading. So he's got 2 Assassinations, 2 Bonsais. No Kuni Labs, so I guess he's got some, but he's got a lot of Honor Drain. So I don't know, might play into this. Okay, coming back. Whoa, we've had some serious buys here. So the Investigator was left over. See a Borderlands Defender with 3 Fate, and then he passes for passing Fate. So he's got 8 Fate going to next round. So he might take a break or 2 this round, but it's certainly set up for the rest of the game. He's got a Borderlands Defender with 3. Sorry, Purple Potato on Crab, I mean. He's got a Borderlands Defender with 3. That's not going anywhere. And for a while, probably ever. It's probably going to be the rest of the game. And 8 Fate advantage. But the Dragon board is substantial. So Doom Shigenja and Investigator find Meditations, which is a bit unfortunate. I mean, the Shigenja alone would have loved to find it. Certainly the Investigator does not. He's not, because Dragon player is not on Crab Splash, as we see most of the time. So that Investigator loses a Fate, he's going away. And I would imagine he's going to do Meditations immediately, because the Investigator might pull back. So this is an air ring, and we have Crab on 5 honor. Okay, Haruma Skirmisher comes down. Sorry, missed that in the deck list. So Ambusher. Maybe I just thought it was Skirmisher when I saw Haruma. Takes away the Investigator's ability. That's pretty strong. That's a nice use of Haruma Skirmisher when you have a hand size of 7. Given it has no ability and Meditations hasn't been used, Dragon might consider just favorable grounding out of here, because given Crab's ability to defend and more cards, he may be able to stop the break. So then he's really just getting the air ring, which is okay, but he's losing the Kensuke Investigator round early for this. Oh yeah, Ambusher is a 1/1. Mittens, I agree. He would be, I'd be on 10 conflict characters in Crab all day long that way. But yeah, he would be great for a 1. But a 2 for a 2/2 with an ability which is great sometimes and just not useful at others. We see the Hawk Tattoo going down. Oh, sorry, is this it's a political? Oh, who played the Hawk Tattoo? Sorry, guys. Purple Potato. Oh, it was Fable Ground and then Hawk Tattoo back in. Fast and Furious movement there, unicorn style on that Kensuke Investigator. So he's trading a Fate for a Fate off the Investigator. Yeah, that totally makes sense. I mean, he has to invest a card as well, but getting rid of that Investigator around early, because you'll still have a 4 Fate lead, a Borderlands Defender with more Fate, and against an Alchemist next turn. So I think it's all about playing for future turns here. I think Crab wants to limit the damage this turn, and because no break suffered, and then just kind of snowball from there, or at least eventually snowball. Crab will get there. But Dragon certainly got some offensive power if they want to start making breaks. And which he can definitely get to here. It's currently breaking. With the use of the box, you can stop the break, but the Master Alchemist can honor the Investigator, as well as box is still available. So yeah, there's on board a lot of pump for Dragon here. So I expect this Meditations in the Tau to break. He has a lot of offense, unless there's a pretty hefty investment conflict character by Purple Potato. Because yeah, Court Games doesn't help at all. And fans, I guess, could be invested, but they're not enough. Yeah, Meditations. Okay, Meditations breaks simply off the box use. But like I said, the Investigator's going away a turn early. So he's still got a Borderlands Defender versus a military. It's going to be a pretty strong military attack. But he definitely may be able to stave off a second break, depending on which province. And conflict character-wise. Now, does he have a conflict character to drop here? No, does not look like Purple Potato has to pass. So it's unfortunate because he's going to pass up Fate on Rings, but I mean, he may just end up being 2 fate on a ring to grab next time, and I don't think it's a massive deal, and he has the fate lead, but to maintain that, I think he has to hopefully pull more characters to pull more fate off rings. Oh, just double checking. I think people can hear me in the stream. Everything's fine with the levels and whatnot. If somebody could do a quick comment on that, that would be great because I can adjust things. I can also visually, let's see if the scroll works out at all. Yeah, it's a little better. I mean, the board may eventually get wide, but gets phase. I'll move this conflict phase thing. Okay, so we see Adopted Kin played on the Master Alchemist, and then we see a Tattooed Wanderer to give it covert, which would be powerful against a singular defensor. We see a Let Go come down from Purple Potato to get rid of the covert. Yeah, it's always Adopted King is always very sad when you're thinking about getting your 4/5 attachments back, and it gets Let Go at the end. So one Let Go down for that, or maybe even two. Let's see. No, just the one. Heads into Manicure Garden with just the Alchemist. I guess he's anticipating conflict character coming down. But I think you almost want Crab to, well, he's got Before the Throne as a farmable province is kind of the problem. Otherwise, I think you'd want Crab to attack. You'd want to leave yourself sort of open. So Borderlands Defenders defends. Alchemist still has his ability, plus favor. So I think it's going to be difficult for Crab to win this, but I think they're probably just happy taking the non-break. They'll take sort of the Fate from Manicure Garden for the honoring. Because if he self-honors, then it's really not, there's not that many good honor targets or dishonor targets outside of that. But he may not have to, because Fine Katana goes down the Alchemist, taking it to almost 7 to why is it only 6? Oh yeah, I can't count, that's why. Yeah, now taking to a break by using the self-honoring. So the Fire Ring is not going to, I think, be super impactful here. He could, actually no, I say that, but he could dishonor the Skirmisher and take the Crab down to 3. Since we're not on Unicorn Splash, it's harder for Crab to, Bonsai. Is he going to kick it? Yeah, he kicks it. So Purple Potato kicks the Bonsai. So this Fire Ring does go off. Oh, that's why I said 4. But he'll still be down to 3 honor, and without the card draw of Unicorn Splash to sort of keep the fate up while bidding low. Here's Yusuke. I did not see no Funeral Pyres or anything like that. So we see a pass on the non-break from the Dragon player. So successful defense by Crab, which I think is probably what they're going for there. Like their board fate situation, I think, is pretty substantial. So preventing this break, I think, is pretty big. They didn't have a conflict character before, so let's see if they have one now to attack back. Otherwise, we'll have Favor go to the Dragon and go to the next round with Crab on 3 honor. So I guess 3 honor, actually, they've only played 1. They haven't played their Spreading the Darkness, and they haven't played, and they have another Assassination. So yeah, there could be some dead cards heading into their hand here until they can fix this honor situation. And they are facing off against a pretty scary Master Alchemist. I mean, it's a, let's see, 5, 7, 9 with 9, 10 military with the Favor in the box. So it's definitely, he's a province breaker for sure. And he can continually dishonor Crab characters leaving play, so that's a further honor drain. Okay, sorry, I missed this in the deck list. It's a non-standard, so we see Haruma Koge, who at 2 cost seems a bit overcosted, but Sincerity is also nice, and certainly in this situation. The ability is okay. You can sort of card filter a little bit. See another Borderlands Defender go down versus a Swordsmith. Obviously, not being on Crab Splash, this would be a great assassination target, but it would lose you the game for Purple Potato, so as tempting as it is, I don't think he's going to take it. So I mean, Purple Potato has twice as many cards, but card advantage is really not that in favor of a Purple Potato, and then he's facing off against a Swordsmith that'll get 2 cards. The Sincerity will help, but Koge's played with one fate. So we'll see if that singular assassination that's in the oh no, it's already been played. So he has no fear of assassinations anymore. Plus he has an Iron Mind, so he can fate this Koge. Although at 2-1 stats, that's not spectacular. We see Smith, Koge, Investigator gets played again with a single fate. Crab gets the passing fate again. So six additional fate. Now, at this point, facing breaks, I mean, I am guilty of trying to get the passing fate as much as possible. Here, I don't know if the Vanguard Warrior might have been a good buy just to get a bigger board to handle the sort of Dragon Onslaught and sort of wait them out as much as possible. I mean, you could even Iron Mine that, because right now he has no Iron Mine target. So he has to make sure it doesn't break to use it next turn, etc. But I can definitely see wanting to wait on the Vanguard Warrior if you don't have to buy it. But 6 fate is a lot of fate, given the sort of expensive and relatively inexpensive conflict deck with only 5 cards. Okay, Swordsmith takes a peek. Box of Fox, you can't give CA to Crab. I don't, not entirely sure what you mean by that. You mean passing fate? Card advantage. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Thank you. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Yep. I think you're right. Although I think Dragon, you don't see it. It's every time I say it, it seems weird, but I think Dragon, and it's working for them. I think Dragon is kind of in a dishonor game here, or dual pressure at the very least. They got some province breaking characters for sure. Might go that way, but a 3 honor and a swordsmith. I mean, I think the cards are going to even up pretty soon, and Crab can't change their bids. Plus, they're going to be drawing dead cards. So he's a shameful display, which is definitely unfortunate. I'm curious. I mean, scouting's good to find out what's out there, but you had Before the Throne, so either he wants to break a province to get some momentum in that area, or I don't know if scouting was the best idea. I mean, this is eventually another honor loss, and I think that's might be the primary way you're going to lose here. So. Yeah, Susan, you can't go if you're going to break it, but I mean, was this Haruma Koge thinking about breaking it? Maybe, but I don't think so. Oh, yeah, you're right. That's true. Good point, Ronnie. Or Suzanne. Yeah, that's true. We could do a feast or famine sort of phenomena where they load you up with weapons and try to and use their box to help you break. Yeah, that's true. It'd only take one katana. That I can see that. One katana's already out, but he probably has a Daisho. Oh, he has this fire. He has fire katanas too, so he's like 7 swords. Yeah. Yep. No. Good points. Yeah, I did miss that. You could murder yourself. So and at 0 fate though. Okay, so I'll flip around again. At 0 fate, you could have just went at feast or famine because there's 0 ramifications in breaking it if they yeah try to break it. So yeah, I think crab. Um, and that was on the Earth, which makes some sense. I think Crab's got to think about getting an air ring this turn or next for sure, and I like seriously investing in getting it, just to give some decent buffer. Because the Alchemist, depending if they want to break with this Investigator or pressure with this Investigator, the Alchemist could slam another Dishonor on a character and kind of wait it out. Because Crab winning by Conquest is some turns away, so they'll have to be sitting at low honor for a while unless they win some air rings. Okay, so he honors the Borderlands Defender. Purple Potato does with Core Games, which puts him into winning the conflict. Investigator has a fate if he wants to utilize it. Um, so going back at Keeper of Earth as Earth. I mean, yeah, you have a pretty good chance with the Alchemist's ability to win this. 5 cards in hand. So we see Let Go, Spreading the Darkness, Watch Commander, and a Way of the Crab. with so much fate, I wonder why maybe the watch commander didn't go down on the Borderlands Defender. I just mean like holding it in hand and having so much money, but maybe he didn't see it as worth it. I mean, with 12 honor for Dragon, you're really just a stat. It's just a stat boost. Okay, Ornate Fan comes down on the Investigator, so now he's turned to winning the conflict, and the box is not necessarily going to help. There's no mountain. One thing you might consider, although you're going to lose that honor eventually, you could weigh the crab. It's not the highest value, but you get a card, and you can kill this swordsmith. Maybe it's not that great. You just be a marginal value way of the crab, but we're up to 9 honor for crab. I mean, sorry, 9 fate advantage for crab. But I've been here many times with a crab where you got this big fate advantage and even board advantage, and you still manage to not be able to close it out. Just because either breaks come on too heavy, or in this case, honor might get you. But we'll have to see next turn. I mean, you never want to get rid of an Iron Mine, but man, 16 fate. Yeah, I think you got to dump for as many viable things as you can. We'll see how he plays it. Because Earth Ring, yeah, it's going to make it a 4-2 the other way. I'm not sure with 3 cards in hand what, and box already used, what Purple Potato can do to win this ring. Oh, okay. So counter court game's played now. I guess with he's probably gonna Dragon's probably gonna use the box to go for the break here on Manicure Garden. Okay, crab passes. Okay, plays the watch commander. He doesn't want to get it chucked out. I mean, I guess he's hoping the let go doesn't get. I mean, let's take a look at this hand. Could he have dumped the whole thing? I don't know if that's all. No, because spreading the darkness, but he doesn't want to play that anyway. So I mean, he could have. No, because then Sincerity draws you another card. So there's no way to really like dump all your useful cards before this Earth Ring goes off. I mean, he could have dropped some from the Ornate Fan. So let's see, what are options for crab here? There's still another attack for Dragon, and there was no conflict character in hand, so... And he's at 3 honor. So he can either attack air, it's not likely to win, or he can just wait and defend, which means he's giving up 2 ring off the... well, actually, no. I would go Water Ring, grab the 2 fate, and either you force a block or you just ready a Borderlands Defender, which is what you have to do the attack. So I would definitely think about Water Ring into Feast or Famine. Yeah, it's a very interesting situation for Crab here. I mean, Crab does have cards that use a lot of honor, so they can get into honor trouble, but usually they're the ones applying dual pressure, or that's supposedly kind of their advantage. Now we see it going the other way. Let's see what Purple Potato does. I think, and chat might disagree with me, I think Water, grab the fate. That's a 4 fate swing. No. Passes their conflict. Yeah, interesting. Public Forum, okay. Missed lots of interesting things on this deck list. So it's definitely not going to get the 3rd break this turn, and that Iron Mine will stay, although it's not generally useful. Oh, okay, Fire. So Alchemist went for Fire. It's just 1 less fate. Oh, and he's going to pick up 3 fate off this Water Ring next turn if he wants. That's a lot of cash. I guess Crab didn't really need the cash because 17 fate's awfully hard to spend. Yep, dishonors the Borderlands Defender and half breaks Public Forum. So it's kind of like 2 breaks away. So Dragon can be on the Stronghold next turn and all their characters are staying. It's a big fate advantage. I think whether Crab survives is really going to come down to because all 3 dishonored characters waiting to go away too. They're going to eventually have to win air rings, but next turn I think they just got to get enough to buy like big beefy characters that can defend. Yeah, I'm not sure about Fire either. Further dishonor pressure. I mean, it does set up a 3 fate Water Ring. because you're going first. So I think the money was coming regardless. Water wasn't going to do a ton for Dragon that turn. I think it would have done a lot more for Crab, personally, because then the Alchemist, I think, would have defended. Uh, but oof, that's not a lot. Okay, you know the Assassinate's gone, so you can get Yusuke with a few Fate, Vanguard Warrior, Maya Mystic. So I mean, you might spend 8 here, 8 if you're 15. I think that's just not a flop that's going to help Crab at all. Dragon's got 2 additional card draws off Swordsmith versus, well, I guess 2 this turn from Crab as well. But you know, Ratsugu's going to kill someone probably. Vanguard Warrior comes out. Dragon gets the passing fate, but Crab's still up 8. Might as well buy this Maya Mystic. It's worth 2 with your box. Yeah, I would imagine. Fully expect Dragon would be going water to start. There's a lot of good targets you're going to force to block, and yeah, I mean you can go water political, right? And some pretty bad political stats to defend versus some pretty massive political stacks. This board, I mean, I would definitely. He has the Way of the Crab in hand, right? I would think about. I mean, it might be more value to just Way of the Crab this Kogoi off the top, right? I don't know if Chad agrees with me or not. I mean, you're gonna get, sure, you'll get a Swordsmith with no fate, but it's honored. And I mean, Dragon got the passing fate. You could have even done it in fate phase to stop the use of that Swordsmith. I think that might have been something to think about there, because you draw a card and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. It's not a Way of the Crab blowout, but you know, you don't get Way of the Crab blowouts anymore nowadays, generally, in competitive games. So it's all about eking out that advantage. And who knows, maybe Dragon loses their mind and gets rid of their Master Alchemist. You never know. But yeah, given that Crab, I mean, I certainly like their fate and board position, but they are virtually at 0 honor at the end. You know, in a few turns when those borderland defenders die in the end. And I mean, the water ring's just too juicy, but Dragon could win air. They could win air pretty easily if they wanted, right? Yeah, yeah, you could be right, Ronnie or Susan. The because air ring, I mean, you're getting 2 less fate, which is pretty big, but then fate hasn't been helping Crab. If they want to go back water, they can, which is good as a defender. But yeah, so he does. He goes and denies the air ring, um, and he's probably going to be able to steal a fate here. Um, Certainly, you have to defend. Defend with Yusuke. I mean, I don't know. The question is whether you put in a lot to try to stop this break, or you put in just like a token to stop the honor loss, and Yusuke to get the ability right away, or maybe Maya Mystic because you want to use the ability sooner rather than later on, say, that adopted kin or the fine katana. Um, Investigator is going to hurt the. Oof, only 2 cards in hand, so I don't know if Investigator's even going to get anything that's that great. But oh, yeah. So we see a big defense. He's pushing to try to stop this break, which I can totally see because he can fire back water, unlikely to win, but at least you force some, you know, some fairly big defense and gonna go on the defensive this turn. Try to wait for, you know, that fate advantage to kick in. Yeah, Ratsugu. That's true. Usually you see Ratsugu sit on defense, kind of just like a praying mantis, ready to murderize somebody who comes in with no fate. Because yeah, here you can kind of work around Ratsugu in a way. Oh, don't forget he has a singular Way of the Dragon in his deck. Of course, the Maya Mystic, I'm sure, would be popped for that immediately. But could see that Way of the Dragon going down on Ratsugu, and then Shujisuke just getting, or I mean, one of the Borderlands defenders just getting murdered. And the hand size is now 2 to 5 with 3, and the honor, and Dragon has 9 additional honor. And it's probably going to go 1 to 5 in a second after the investigator. So, still assigning defenders. We see the Kagoe. He's thinking about it. This is political. I mean, what's the Kagoe is just going to get you something with the box. Plus, he's giving Ratsugu a target. Oh, Vanguard Warrior. That's interesting. I would imagine. I mean, why would Ratsugu not duel that Vanguard Warrior? If you include it, because you're just going to lose him as a defend. Oh, you could box, and then he has to give you honor to duel. I could see that if you box right away. Yep, that's good too. Yep, Ronnie, that's a good play for Dragon. Yeah, I think that Vanguard Warrior is just not long for this world. I'm sure there's another sword in the hand, or so even with box, or just dishonor it with the Master Alchemist. Because then if he dishonors it, duels it, wins air, he's down to 1 honor with a Kagoe leaving. Yeah, it looked good for Crab after first turn, but the honor pressure was just crazy and unexpected from the Welsh player on Dragon. We'll see how it goes though. Because you certainly don't, yeah, you don't want to be putting attachments onto, and you can't spreading the darkness him. I mean, you could, but that seems not a good idea. Um, so, you have an Iron Mine, right? He doesn't necessarily leave play. Duh. He does have an Iron Mine. So the Vanguard Warrior is going to stick. He did miss that. A Crab player should be ashamed of himself for missing the fact there's an Iron Mine there. Okay, so political error, 9 for the attacker. Neither box has been used. Boxes were 3 for Crab, 2 for Dragon, but Polyform is only 3 strength. So at this point, and Alchemist has an ability. We see a fine katana go down on the Borderlands defender. I guess to. Right. He's using it on the Borderlands defender, not in the conflict. Because he wants to stop the investigator from taking it. So I think there's just the spreading darkness left in the hand, which I'm sure he's happy to give up. I don't think the investigator will even use his ability. Yep. Vanguard Warrior gets dishonored by the Alchemist. And now, I mean, you can trade boxes to give him the break. At least force him to use his box. You're not going to have more defenders. Oh, what just happened there? Maya Mystic sacrifices the Ornate Fan. Usually you want to try to use Maya Mystics until they've been used in the conflict, but that's okay. He certainly wouldn't mind getting that adopted kin, but so be it. Now still breaking, and even but if after box use it won't be. So we'll see if we see box trade here. Dragon probably pass. There's really no reason. And also initiates a duel against a Vanguard Warrior, which I can see. Maybe he's not too serious about going for the break here because the Iron Mine would go away anyway. But Ratsugu is probably not going to be in another conflict with no favorable ground. Okay, box takes up 7 to 7. But Dragon, there's 1 card in hand. It's spreading the darkness, I believe. So Dragon just can win this conflict with their box. See if they have a card to get the break if they want it. But now that it looks like the plan is just Hawk Tattoo's in his own Borderlands defender. Okay. I mean, that means he's really got to win this water ring, or he's going to have, well, no defense. And he's winning air ring on defense, so that's not gonna. He can't trigger it. So that means he can't take it unopposed. So now we're up to. So the Hawk Tattoo was used after the Crab Box, unfortunately, because now Dragon Box takes you back to tying, and we. Pretty sure, again, I might be wrong. Oh, Shujisuki hasn't been used yet, has he? But as soon as Shujisuki's used, the oh no, he's out of fate. So Shujisuki can safely be used now, and maybe gets a card to let's see, has the Shujisuki? I don't know. I have to scroll too far, guys. Maybe somebody noticed. I don't think the Shujisuki has been used yet. Let's hope. It's an easy thing to forget. So, oh, Dragon used the tat. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Thanks, Baron. Um, right. Setting up the unopposed. Yeah. Now he still wins. Oh, he used the tat after the box. Yep. Okay, that makes sense why it went that order. Okay, so I think oh, there's no more. Oh, after the Iron Mine. Yeah, wow. Okay. That makes sense. So the Ratsugu duel got rid of the Iron Mine, which meant the Shujisuki couldn't be used because he was waiting on the Shujisuki so that the political investigator or Kazuki investigator couldn't take his card. Wow, that's some definitely some intricacies there that I certainly missed at first blush. Kind of commentating here. So yeah, so once the Iron Mine disappeared, the Shujisuki's ability couldn't be used. Yeah, yeah, I agree, Baron. I agree. This is looking really bad for because the fire ring's available. So I mean, they're already dishonored. So fire ring doesn't take you out immediately, but yeah, it is. It is game because we know there's no reprieve in hand. Oh, shameful display. Oh, he goes looking for another province. I don't know. Does anyone see why? Why that would be? I mean, obviously, yeah, because public forum was there for the break, um, and it didn't have any ability. So Crab can survive another turn. They're in a bad spot, but they can certainly survive another turn because they can re-honor this Kagoe, draw a card, etc., etc. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to go silent here. So enjoy the rest of the game, and thanks a lot.